You dodge the tentacle arm just in time, leaping back onto the nearest roof and catching a glimpse of your attackers. 4 robotic creatures that remind you of automatic pool sweepers. They have sleek globular cores that host a swinging tentacle, which is armed with a blade tip and energy cannons. After you evade the pool killers, they zero in on Black Magic. You know she is still weak from the thought swap, so what's your plan of attack? Work with Black Magic to take out the pool killers, end this battle on my own with one powerful blast, or take the telelock from Black Magic and make a run for it. I do have 120 power, and my character is not a team player, and I plan on sticking faithful to that. We would probably have a relationship build up if I worked with her, and probably not have one if I tried to just take the damn telelock and make a run for it. But my character does have a crush on Black Magic, and after seeing her weakened by the thought swap, is just gonna burn his power and end the battle on his own. You build a powerful surge in your forearms, knowing one large blanket blast should be enough to disable the pool killers. Soon feeling ready to burst, you let the energy loose. However, instead of one white blast, a massive pulse emits from your entire body. The purple energy wave still incinerates all of the pool killers on contact, but was way overkill. Even Black Magic has to shield herself to keep from getting scorched. What the slugger? That's the second time your powers have surged unexpectedly like that. Looking down your smoking forearms, you wonder why this keeps efficient display the inevitable, Black Magic says. What a harmonious power set you have. It really does instill confidence in your abilities. What were those things, you ask, just wanting to change the subject from your power flare? I have no idea, but I'd bet they're a present from Madame Vice, Black Magic says. Whatever they are, we don't have time for this. I have just enough spell power left to get us back to the Millennial Group headquarters. I can recharge and do the ritual in the telelock there. You coming? Okay, that did adjust my soloist team player bar. It didn't influence my Black Magic bar. I guess? Then stand close to me, Black Magic says. And you have no trouble doing so. You're about to put your hand on her arm when she says, Headquarters transport. Suddenly you feel as if someone has thrown you into the middle of a hurricane. This was a mistake. I guess? Wind rips at your body, and you open your mouth to scream. Before you know it, you find yourself in the foyer of the MGHQ. And it's completely surreal. Located on MC's western shore, the MGHQ is a sleek tower shaped like a massive bullet. Currently you stand in a dazzlingly white foyer overlooking the ocean. The walls are lined with wax tech statues of every Millennial Group member, dating all the way back to the original roster. You're pretty certain that you don't want to be part of a team, but you suppose there's no harm in checking out how MC's finest heroes live. And no matter how hot Black Magic might be, she is essentially trying to steal this case out from under you. You need to be here to keep tabs and make sure you stay involved. Come with me, Black Magic says, walking toward a bank of elevators. You snap out of it and follow, your eye catching a holographic map of the headquarters. You look over the map, settling on Good Lord in Heaven. Mission Control Hub, training levels, governmental liaison offices, marketing and PR department, the transportation hangar, the advanced weapons arsenal, the tech support office, the research and development lands, the detainment block, the hospital floor, the recreational wing, the 5-star dining complex, or the Millennial Hero Museum. Well... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Damn, 13 options. I was gonna roll a d12. I mean, who wants to go to like the detainment block anyway, right? Let's pick something sexy. Like advanced weapons. Oh, baby. You start to think about how much fun it would be to explore there, but then your eyes settle at the top of the hologram, which shows the residential levels. Each group member gets their own first-class luxury floor, with 360-degree views. Did that change my stats at all? I can't tell. I don't think they have. I thought the power was 120. Maybe it said well, maybe it took power in order to survive our transportation here. Alright. Well, that's a thing. Each group member gets their own first-class luxury floor with 360-degree views of the Pacific Ocean and downtown MC, or so you've heard. Of course, the top 3 penthouse levels belong to Rebellion. Greetings, Black Magic, a soothing automated voice says. How may I help you? That's totally soothing. Hey, Prosy, Black Magic says. The Ineffable here is my guest, and we need to go to the Mission Control Hub. Can you request that the other group members meet us there along with Officer Spillane? I've got a lead on the Flight Circle case. Processing requests now, says the automated voice. Well done, Black Magic, by the way. Thanks, Prosy, Black Magic says as the doors swing open to reveal a glass elevator overlooking Millennia City. She steps inside and motions for you to follow. That's Processor. She's the building's operating system. She also happens to be the group's oldest member, an artificial intelligence construct that was the group's first computer system back in the 21st century, but has since evolved into one of the most advanced sentient AI beings on the planet, you finish. Never one to be outdone on your heroic history. Plus, Meatship J2 has always had quite the me crush on Processor. Aww. Yes, some people think that Japanese Wire Maiden is the most advanced, but Prosy is actually scheduled for a systems upgrade that's supposed to kick her ass, Black Magic says. And you should see her mainframe body since she decided to gender identify. She's got a legendary rack. Okay. You start to chuckle, but it catches in your throat as the glass elevator flies away from the wall and shoots diagonally downward. You feel your stomach lurch as the elevator enters a complex network of twisting tubes. You going to be okay there, champ? Black Magic asks, smiling. Before you can even gain your bearings, the elevator doors swing open, and Black Magic strides forward. She makes a few quick turns down slick metal corridors and finally enters a large room. You follow and try to catch your breath, but lose it entirely as you walk inside. For the Millennial Group is assembled before you. You can't help but stare, each member more impressive than the last. Who are you most excited to see? Fistful, who sits in a custom chair since he takes up the space of 3 normal people. Monk, a spiritual guru turned hero. The Diva, the wickedly powerful team matriarch perched in an ornate throne chair. Processor, whose legendary rack glows white underneath her glass skin. Officer Spillane, the group's police liaison who hasn't noticed you since her eyes remain glued to her meatship, or none of them. I only care about rebellion. Let's do that. None of them. Only care about rebellion. Black Magic walks inside and takes her seat next to the Diva. I cannot, emulate, even remotely, a thick South African accent. You're going to have to imagine that. And who is this, the Diva says in a thick South African accent, looking you over from head to toe. You swear you can feel your skin start to prickle under her gaze. There will be plenty of time for introductions in the official debrief, someone says as they enter, nearly knocking you over. You're about to say something until you realize that the voice belongs to... Rebellion? Rebellion! The sight of your idol, decked out in his simple blue and gold fatigues, nearly makes you faint. He has quite the intimidating presence, which is helped considerably by his 7-foot height. Rebellion's eyes also glow a dim orange, pulsating... Did I say orange? Orange, pulsating with power. As you gaze in awe at Rebellion, you remember that he is your favorite hero because he overcame adversity to become MC's most famous hero, just like I planned to. He stands for all the things that matter to me most as a hero. He is the best. He does what he thinks is right, whether or not it lines up with the law. He was the very first recipient of the prestigious MC's Hero of Tomorrow grant, an honor I hope to achieve someday myself. He does what he thinks is right, whether or not it lines up with the law. Fame also works here, too. Shit. Let's check this. What do I care more about? Oh, fame beats lawlessness by 1%! And I see that final relationship bar is for the Millennial Group. Well, he overcame adversity to become MC's most famous hero, just like I planned to. Rebellion represents everything that a hero should be, and that's why he has remained your idol ever since you were a kid. Now, if our guest might take a seat, we can begin, Rebellion says as he stands at the head of the table, the impatience in his voice unhidden. You force your legs to move and you... about that. You force your legs to move and you sit in the nearest empty seat, which you hope doesn't belong to someone more important. As you settle in, you try to will your heart to stop pounding in your chest, because this is absolutely unreal. Last month you didn't even have your hero license, and today you're sitting at a mission control debrief, led by Rebellion. It's certainly enough to make your head spin.
20 minutes later.
Black Magic has given the rundown on your telelock findings and your encounter with the pool killers. You thought you might be asked to speak, but aside from a brief acknowledgement of your telelock tip, everyone ignored your presence entirely. Rebellion's plan formed quickly. Black Magic is to report to the hospital floor for immediate recharging. Once restored, she will discern the location of Static's evidence stockpile from the telelock. If the evidence is successfully secured by the MCPD, the Millennial Group will then take action against the Splice Circle, whose current whereabouts are to be researched remotely by Processor. You hoped you might get a chance to introduce yourself to Rebellion, but he was out of the door before you could even stand up, followed by Officer Spillane, who sent you a rather dirty look on her way out. You've dreamed of meeting Rebellion for years, rehearsed speeches and introductions, but this all turned out to be rather anticlimactic. Now, as the other group members begin to stir, you have no idea what you're supposed to do. Luckily, Black Magic approaches you on her way out. "Stick around," she says, placing a hand on your hip. "Things are about to heat up." Everything has happened so fast, you've barely had time to think about what you really want with Black Magic. But now, with her standing right in front of you, with a hand on your hip, you know you want something serious. Black Magic seems perfect in just about every way, and you can't stop thinking about her. You feel there's something potentially deep between the two of you. Hopefully you'll have the opportunity to find out. I was about to say it's a pool.
An incredibly deep pool. Nothing shallow.
What should I do while you're gone, you ask? The other group members will probably just hang around until our next order, Black Magic says, leaning in to whisper in your ear. "Oh, I can do that."
Go talk to them. Consider it a part of your mentor view, as they call it.
Before you can respond, Black Magic winks at you and strides toward the door. "You didn't think I brought you here just for giggles, did you? Play nice now." With that, Black Magic leaves you with the rest of the group. So you aren't just here to help, you're here to audition for the Millennial Group? That's insane. Why on earth would they want a rookie like you on the team, especially one with your brief but miserable track record? Besides, you don't play backup to anyone. You're meant to be a solo star. Even so, being a part of a team like the Millennial Group could be a perfect platform from which to launch a solo career. Knowing this, who do you think you should talk to? The diva, whose megasonic voice makes her one of the most powerful women on the planet. Now in her early 60s, the diva has been in the Millennial Group for nearly 20 years. After her first profession as a cardiac surgeon was taken over by advanced robotics, she has since risen to be one of the group's most respected and feared members. Monk, a former spiritualist turned playboy hero whose raunchy transformation has been splayed across the hero tabloids for years. Gender neutral, huh? Well, let's avoid that. If only because I don't want to pronounce the pronouns that have clearly been demonstrated to be involved here. Yes, I'm intolerant, everyone. I'm intolerant of fucking reading words that I... Grimith, intolerant of reading words. Good job. Well done. Or Fistful, who is torn straight from that old Jersey Shore stereotype. He is one of the most controversial group members, especially since many people think he uses illegal powered steroids to amp up his already considerable strength. Let's just go with Fistful. I don't feel like talking to a diva, and Monk... Let's not tackle that. Fistful may seem like a bit of a joke, but he still somehow managed to claw his way from obscurity onto the Millennial Group. Besides, spending some time with him is bound to be entertaining at the very least. Excuse me, Fistful, you ask. Do you think I could hang with you until the mission? Whatever floats your boat, Fistful says, standing up to his full imposing 10 feet. I'm headed to the gym for some pre-game pumping. You can spot me. 30 minutes later, you find yourself in the group's extensive training wing, more specifically in its sprawling weight training section. You watch as Fistful bench presses half-ton weights, encircled by robotic spray tanners. Key is to just push through. Don't let no one tell you anything other than what you want to hear. I didn't get here by playing it safe, that's for sure. An image counts for everything. You can be the best damn hero in the world, but if you ain't looking right, it don't matter for... To your immense pleasure, Fistful has been imparting his wisdom on you without pause. I made the right choice. You haven't been able to get a word in edgewise. Instead, you occupy yourself by watching the robot tanners, keeping your eyes trained on the orange stickiness that clings to Fistful's ridiculous muscles, which look more like ripe, veined cantaloupes than anything else.
Yo, I gotta take a leak. Use whatever you want here.
Fistful says, tossing the weights aside. He then waddles over toward the bathroom, his massive thighs rubbing together as he goes. You look over the first-rate training equipment and practically drool. Where do you even begin? Let's do some holo sparring. You walk toward the station, but have to take the long way around, as the robot tanners swivel in your direction menacingly. Before you can arrive, Processor's voice comes over the intercom. All group members kindly reconvene in mission control. Excuse me, all group members kindly reconvene in mission control. That's a shame, I didn't actually get any training in. All you want to do is get back to mission control, but you know it'd be rude to leave without Fistful. Plus, you're not particularly sure how to retrace your steps. So you reluctantly make your way over to the bathroom, pushing the door open to call for Fistful. But you freeze dead in your tracks at what you see inside. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Okay. What could it be? What could we have seen? Fistful's in there with someone. That's my prediction. Fistful propped up against the walls, ferociously making out with Monk. Alright. Your brain doesn't even know where to begin processing this image. Aside from the fact that Fistful is nearly 3 times the size of Monk, who levitates in midair to reach Fistful's face, Monk is a controversial... I guess I'll have to fucking try to pronounce that now. Zahir figure? Fuck. Figures, I wanted to avoid pronouncing these words, and here we are. Fistful is supposed to be a sports-watching, beer-guzzling, weightlifting womanizer, so the thought that these two are involved in a secret relationship is scandalous on just about every level. It may not be taboo to be gay anymore, but gender-bending, forbidden romances are a true classic. You don't have any time to react, however, as Fistful and Monk both turn to look at you, their jaws nearly hitting the floor. This is a shred of information that could be highly valuable to you, one way or another. And since you could care less about joining the Millennial Group, your decision is as good as made already. Well, this sounds like a stupid idea. But the other option is grayed out. I have no other choice. And because that's true, because this choose-your-own-adventure story has been friendly to us, I'm sure I will not suffer for this. But it probably means... well, probably means I'm not a team player, guys. Look at me not being a team player. I've got to join the millennial groups. I mean, if I even care. Well, let's see how well this works. You can definitely leverage this information to something useful, not the least of which could be a fat check from any major me-zine or news blog.
Hey, this isn't...
Fistful starts to say, but you don't let him. That was exactly what I think it was, you say, allowing a smirk to wrap around your face. Now let's talk about what you're going to do for me. Fistful takes a moment to look you over, his guilt quickly boiling into anger.
I don't respond too well to threats,
he says, approaching you with his muscles flexed.
Wanna run that by me again?
I don't respond well to threats either, you say, standing your ground. So maybe you'd like to rethink your approach. Fistful's nostrils flare as his hands ball into fists. You blink. One hit from him and it'd all be over. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But before Fistful can do anything, Monk places a hand on his shoulder. Good, you think. Someone who can handle this rationally. You then look up as black words begin to skywrite from thin air above Monk's head. Before you can read them, Monk and Fistful vanish from sight, leaving you alone. One word from my lips would end you. You shudder, knowing Monk's threat is not an empty one. But that's all right, you think, as you start to head out of the training wing, because one word from your lips is all it's going to take to end them, too. Character might be a little delusional here. How are we going to end them? It's certainly not going to be in the Millennial Group. I'm pretty sure this means that we're not going to be a part of the Millennial Group. Unless the story requires it. maybe we'll get paid. And that's the thing, I mean, like, because if, for whatever reason, like, I don't think the millennial group is going to be okay with me attempting to slander these people. I don't think that's going to get them kicked out of the millennial group. My character is insane. Are you insane? You are. Yes, you are. Oh, my legend appears to have gone up. It used to be 11, right? All right. I like it. I'll take it. Put it in the bag. As you re-enter mission control, you find that the rest of the group is already gathered. You take a seat next to Black Magic, who looks recharged and good as new.
So how'd that go?
She whispers to you. You know that your interactions just now probably sealed your fate with the millennial group, but Rebellion's voice booms from the head of the room before you can answer. Off. Fucking sounds outside. That's, why I had to mute earlier. Officer Spillane will handle the debrief, he says. In the meantime, I'm going to have a word with the ineffable outside. He is? Slugger. Standing outside, in the corridor with Rebellion, your pulse begins to race. Now is your chance to say something to him. You scream at yourself in your head to speak. Rebellion, can I say that it is an absolute honor to... I'll keep this brief, Rebellion cuts you off. Firstly, I wanted to thank you for helping us with the telelock. Because of your tip, Black Magic was able to locate Static's stockpile of evidence. Madam Vice hasn't gotten to it yet, and the MCPD has already procured enough to take down the entire Splice Circle. You pause, trying to absorb this information. I'm happy to have played a pivotal role in furthering the investigation for the group. I'm angry that the case was stolen right out from under me. Yes, I am angry at the case was stolen right out from under me. But you don't dare interrupt Rebellion as he continues. The Millennial Group has been tasked with bringing in the remaining Splice Generals, which is exactly what we're about to do. But there's something else. Our PR department has decided that adding an aspiring rookie to our ranks will help boost our image and help us gain a younger following. It's all nonsense to me, but I'm not opposed to bringing in a promising amateur to mentor. We've been auditioning many young heroes, and as thanks for your assistance, I was thinking of including you in the mission. Holy slugger, you think? Rebellion is thinking of asking you to fight alongside him? To maybe even mentor you? This is too much to even process. But you don't seem to mesh with the team very well, Rebellion finishes, not a trace of kindness in his face. And we're already auditioning a new member today. Here he is now, actually. You turn around, and your stomach drops, because you see Jury striding down the hall. No, you think. Anyone but him. What voice did I use for him? Well, look who it is, Jury says as smugly as he can manage. Good to see you again, cutie. Jury stops next to Rebellion, and the sight is enough to make your blood boil. Before you can respond, Rebellion turns to go. That will be all, the ineffable. Thanks for your time. With that, Rebellion walks back into mission control, followed by Jury, who winks at you as he whispers, Nice seeing you, Gene Hazard. As the door slams shut in your face, you stand outside, left alone, and with nothing. Looks like threatening to blackmail Fistful and Monk was probably the nail in your Minterview coffin. But that's all right. You don't need the Millennial Group, especially not if they're pandering to someone as sleazy as Jury. Besides, you've always preferred working solo. So that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to take back the case that belonged to you in the first place. You're going to follow the Millennial Group and crash their mission against the Splice Circle. Because no one outshines the ineffable. Next chapter, Splice Girls. Well, don't know what this is going to do for our relationship with Black Magic, but, ultimately, my character must adhere to his ideas of fame and lawlessness. And you know, maybe there's no room for romance. My character is a fame monster, though, damn it, and these bastards stole his case out from right under him.
Oh, goody two-shoes. Oh, it matters. Oh, yes, whoever takes the credit.
This is how they've gotten to their prominent spot, just stealing cases from weaker heroes. I'm not gonna stand for this shit. Been mislabeled by the news and the media. No, I'm not gonna be a has-been. Well, not even a has-been, a never was. Yesterday's news. No. No, we've been fully charged up and powered. No. No, Legend is... No, I'm not gonna take your shit, game. Fucking millennial group. Next time, I'm gonna wreck some face.